You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning. Call in now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.
What's up? What's wrong?
Just chilling, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. What's on your mind?
Why you think something on my mind?
I don't know, it just seems like you got a lot on your mind right now.
I don't know why you think that. I feel like I'm looking regular. Like, you feel like I can't concentrate or I can't focus, and every time I make plans, I do the opposite of my plans. Like, you can see that on me or something.
Kind of, but it's okay because I just got these super stack capsules from White Rabbit and they really been helping me. Here, you should try them.
So just take them right now.
Yeah, just take them. How you feel now?
Do I look different?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel better. I feel clear. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta see what my mama and them doing. I got a job to get to. Thank you, random person that I just met. I appreciate these super stack capsules. Where can I get these from?
WhiteRabbitPsych.com.
I'm about to get some more right now. Thank you, bro. I actually feel great, bro.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, whiterabbitpsych.com, man. Here with another video. Today I'm going to talk about the full moon and Libra. So I want to look at this full moon in Libra holistically. So I'll be reacting to some videos centered on relationships, centered on the government, centered on current events, and then centered into ancient Egyptian mythology because whether we know it or not, most of the things that we study or even understand to be truths come from ancient Egypt. So, you know, coming up from listening to people like Bobby and Pennick, what we knew about Black people, that even at our worst, we were still an advanced civilization. And the particulars of that advanced civilization can come to light through these, one would call like things that happen in the world or news. But if you study the collective unconscious, you will begin to understand things that are happening are from a spiritual point of view and not just somebody going crazy or them just putting up a random statue. Okay. So I want to talk about this full moon in reference to the last 2 weeks. And in the description, there is the new moon article and the new moon uh, worksheet. Not the full moon, the new moon. And I know like that time is gone and went, and we can't get those days back. I still want to bring it to the collective awareness for the very fact that setting your intentions is so very powerful. and I'm just bringing up that previous article because you got to think about this world, man. This world is whatever you want it to be. And if you are caught up into what is happening on the news, but not understanding the undercurrents of it, what is happening on social media, but not understanding the undercurrents, man, this is the rise of the divine feminine, but we need to understand the divine feminine does not work with exterior beauty. The divine feminine is an internal concept. Your reproductive system, your feminine parts, that is within you. That is the most attractive thing that be going on, and a motherfucker can't even see it. He just gotta imagine it. In the imagination of the insides, it will have a man do all types of things, you know, and that is a power that women have. And my thing is, why not use it to your benefit? Men are strong, they use their strength to their benefit. Women are internally strong. You must use that for your benefit in a sense where I ain't mad at no woman for real for whatever she choose to do or however she choose to live. Whether I agree with it or disagree with it, I ain't mad at you. I'm gonna change my name to Tupac because I ain't mad at you. Right? When you deal with the internet, you're gonna deal with a lot of people that's mad at women or mad at men because they haven't figured themselves out or they don't understand the metaphysical concepts of a human being where the human has masculine and feminine parts within them, but humans are taught to be genderized, and it might be a particular body part that differentiates the masculine for the feminine, but there's also an inner differentiation that nobody is specifically talking about, and this is all tied into how you create your life. Because one of the ways that this system is going to lock people down is by telling you how to feel, telling you how to think, telling you how to process, telling you how to do your shit. But at the same time, you could be getting money in crypto. You could be getting money in foreign exchange. You can get money in e-commerce. You can get money by doing your Substack. You can get money by running a TikTok. You can get money on Instagram. You can get money on YouTube. And the motherfucker will look at me and like, man, that's far fetched. I get money doing all of the shit that I just named. I get money doing all of that shit that I just named. And when you talk about Aries energy, setting your intention, I gave niggas the worksheets. And I know niggas looked at it like, yeah, whatever. But you gotta actually think about it like, dog, you could change your life by writing it down in correspondence to the new moon. Y'all gotta actually think I'm fucking retarded, dog. Y'all gotta actually think I'm retarded to sit here and do new moon and full moon videos for 8 years. Y'all will really, I must be fucking slow. You know what I'm saying? If you don't even think, if you don't think to the fact that a new moon in Aries and you didn't set your intentions in reference to your magical powers, because that's what we talking about. In reference to space, time, and continuum representing the Atlanteans and the rising of Atlantis. The rising of Atlantis is the same thing as the kingdom of heaven. All of these are metaphysical concepts that come within you. And if you want to cut to the chase, all right, Kyrie, what is it going to mean for me? It means that you can change your life based upon you setting your intentions. So, are you cooked when it comes to this full moon energy? I'm not going to say you not cooked, but you approaching the point of being well done. You better act like the white people and eat it rare. You know what I'm saying? Cut that steak rare and eat it because it ain't no sense in being cooked. It ain't no sense in journaling and not journaling rather, and not being able to pick up on the energy. So, like I said, man, this show I'm gonna try to be organized about it. Got my little what they call them. I was going to say Gucci third legs, but that's not what they call it. Lord. What the hell? What the hell? What is these shits called, man? These are called lower thirds. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, so let's look at this damn chart. We got the Sun conjunct Uranus. Now, the interesting planet, the X factor in this full moon, is two X factors because the X have two lines, and the X factors is going to be Sun conjunct Uranus. Now, Sun conjunct Uranus is the point in time where we enter cosmic shifts. We've already been feeling it, and you gotta be so advanced to understand that the lows create the highs. So, whatever we experienced as the low in these past 6 to 8 months, you're about to reach an exponential high over this next 6 to 8 months because you figured it out. What have you figured out? You cannot be ignorant to shit. So Spirit gave me the analogy like, all right, you sitting back and your eyes is closed, and the motherfucker is telling you, all right, I need you to watch everything that I'm doing. How would you ever figure it out? What a motherfucker is doing and your eyes is closed. This is how we. This is how we are. I was about to say, this is how we is. What is wrong with me tonight? This is how we are with our finances. So Uranus in Taurus, this retrograde in Taurus, like, yeah, money is easy. All you got to do is pay attention to it. All you got to do is monitor it. All you got to do is credit and debit, checks and balance, and invest and save, and don't spend it on dumb shit. And at the end of the year, you do your taxes correctly. Money is easy. Do y'all got QuickBooks? One in the chat. One in the chat if you got QuickBooks. One in the chat if you do accounting with your personal finances. Money is easy. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about the Sun conjunct Taurus. I'm sorry, the Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus, which deals like you want to be on this wavelength. You want to catch it. The elevator opened up at the bottom floor and it take you to the goddamn top. Okay. Now, what should we be thoroughly wrapping our minds around? The moon in Libra. The moon in Libra is very anti people like me who generally suffer from ADHD, right? Just suffer from it. Who is a person that suffers from ADHD? One's in the chat if you ever got fired from a lot of jobs, you quit a lot of jobs, you couldn't stick it out. One's in the chat if you almost got hired at a good job until they did a background check and they realized that, man, you had a great interview, Kyrie, but we just can't hire you because based on your background record, you a goddamn thug. You from Ohio too? You must know Bone Thugs and Harmony. With all that being said, Kyrie, we'll see you at the crossroads. So that's one X factor. But we also looking at Mercury square Pluto, where this new energy and this complete change of your life, you gotta start to pay attention to it. You gotta stop acting like, oh, my life haven't changed. You gotta stop thinking that the shit is gonna go back into a time where the shit is not gonna go back to because the Mercury is square Pluto. The change is moving into now. What are you gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? We're gonna start building our new life. A bomb hit, boom, we don't got no house no more. What we gonna do now? We gonna start rebuilding our new life. We gonna start adapting. We gonna start to really get our feet settled into this new reality. But back to the moon in Libra. The moon in Libra is good for people that want to do right. But when you got ADHD, you don't want to do right. For some odd reason, you want to do wrong. When you do right, you don't get rewarded. When you do wrong, you don't get rewarded. That's why people with ADHD suffer. So, Moon and Libra, if you Moon and Libra and you don't have no forms of ADHD, what does that say? That says, man, I love this finance shit. I love doing this accounting. I love checks and balances. I love debit and credit. So, what happens when you begin to solve for your ADHD? So at some point, y'all would say, Kyrie, you a goddamn, you just be talking shit, don't you, boy? You a motherfucker, man. You just be talking shit, don't you, boy? That's when I pull up Google up on y'all asses. Y'all be argue with the man, argue with Mark Zuckerberg and them. When I was younger, maybe like 24, 25, 26, I got out of prison and I would work out. And every day I would work out and I would drink Lipton green tea with ginseng and lemon. I would go to the Kroger's or the Stop and Shop. I would get boxes of that shit. And that was my pre workout. Man, I got so lean and I was at a real peaceful point in my life. It was the green tea and it was the ginseng, and I drank it every day. Long story short, and the interesting thing about it is that I had an interesting workout routine too. I would do high rep, light weights, and I got cut up too. Motherfucker was like, damn, you got your shit right. And it was the green tea and it was the light workouts. And God is interesting because I've been working out, but the fact of me, I always remembered the green tea, but I completely forgot about this 10 by 10 workout that I implement, 30-second rest in between sets. You know what I'm saying? Just intense, low rep, like low risk of injury. The shit make you feel like you ain't really even doing shit, but you wake up sore as fuck. Long story short, the thought had escaped me, and then it just came back. But the interesting thing was L-theanine. So L-theanine had came about because I started. I met this guy. Listen, one thing about me, I'm a steal. What you say? I'm gonna steal your goddamn idea. I'm gonna steal your idea. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I built White Rabbit Psychedelic off of Apple's marketing campaign. I did everything that Apple did. So if you look at the logo for White Rabbit Psychedelics, that's Apple. I'm gonna steal your shit, man. Don't just leave your shit around. Cause niggas steal from me. Hey, that's how the game go. You know what I'm saying? You better steal. Motherfucker will say, "Oh man, I don't know how to sell." You know how to buy shit? Yeah, I know how to buy shit. Well, just sell the shit that you buy. What made you buy it? Do some reverse engineering. Man, you a fucking mogul overnight. What make you buy Lululemon? Shit, I goddamn bought this. I was an Android man for my whole life. Motherfucker gave me an iPhone. Ah, it was over from there. Motherfucker gave me a MacBook. It was over from there. I'm like, yeah, something about these niggas. They got something with them. So I just copied the formula. And the niggas like, that's unethical. That's unethical. You shouldn't be stealing. Y'all niggas ain't gonna feed these goddamn kids. You got kids and you ain't stealing ideas. You just comfortable being broke. You just sitting back like, damn, I'm broke as hell. I gotta. What you want to spend money on something? What you want to spend money on? Okay, just reverse engineer it all the way to the point where you put in that debit card and just backtrack, nigga. Ooh, Shopify got a point of sale. You could just do a nigga tap to pay to your phone right there. No Cash App, no Venmo, nothing. Professional. You could be, hey, you could do a restaurant right now as long as you ain't open for longer than 14 days. Just close it and go to your mama's house and go back and forth every 14 days. That's legal. in Michigan. I don't know where you at. In Michigan, you can sell food. You can't sell it for more than 14 days. You buy food every day. What make you buy the food? So what I'm saying is, I have been I have been struggling for a long time, and I didn't even realize I was struggling. I seen this guy. He had microdose capsules, but he had turkey tail in him. That's all he had in it. And I said, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that because he was giving out the samples. Man, the samples had me feeling like, oh, I'm singing in the rain. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling great. I said, oh, it must be that damn turkey tail. So when I got the turkey tail, something just popped up about L-theanine. And I'm like, with me, I'm always thinking of, I got products that I haven't dropped yet. But once again, when I shop online to places, they might have 100 products on their site. And me, I'm a creative person, so I'm like, shit. What am I sitting here with just 8 products on my site? Let me get 100. Let me just write out these ideas, and I'm just sitting back, like, all right, I'm gonna just slowly market and bring shit to market every single week, different things. And what the hell? Ain't nothing stopping you. You start a Shopify store. You put 10,000 products on that goddamn Shopify store. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. You know you can post a goddamn video on YouTube every fucking minute if you wanted to. Every damn hour you could post a video about something. Ain't nothing stopping you. So the 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 L-theanine was something that was intriguing. I didn't even know what it was for, but when I started reading about it, it said naturally occurring amino acid found in the green tea, which was the same tea that unlocked the workout back in the days, like goddamn 20 years ago. At this point, you know what I'm saying? Unlocked the 20-year-old memory, and I'm like, I'm feeling good working out. I'm feeling good, and I was like, damn. But I started making the when I got some free capsules and people will be like, oh, the capsules for free. I'd be like, no, you just gonna be free from your ADHD. You're gonna be free from your stress. You're gonna be free from your anxiety. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be free from shit. And that's all I kept hearing. I just kept hearing songs named free. And so I was like, the next capsule is gonna be called clear. So like free and clear. But it's like that shit just be coming to me and that shit and I just be sitting back like cause y'all niggas already happy. Cause y'all niggas already got y'all mental health together. I'll be sitting back this bitch struggling, you know what I'm saying, and barely get out of bed and shit, scrolling all day and shit, just like going through shit with motherfucking girls and shit like that. And I'll be stressing, having emotional issues all the goddamn time, not really focusing on the things that I'm supposed to be focusing on. Yes, ADHD. A lot of niggas like me PTSD, ADHD. I've been to prison. Niggas was like they was fucking us up with the TV. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, you know what I'm saying? We got it all. We got fucked up by the TV. You know, they used to call the TV the devil box back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now that shit look like child's play, but that was fucking us up. The video games been fucking us up. The phones been fucking us up. All of this shit is an attack on your mental health, right? Motherfuckers don't have peace. They can't even think straight. They can't even maneuver in this world because they are getting fucked up mentally and psychologically and emotionally. And how do motherfuckers fight back? Bro, you gotta do the goddamn knowledge on this L-theanine. I will. I'm only speaking into this because with the moon being in Libra, I never cared about my finances. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how I never fucking balanced and reconciled my bank statement with my monthly transactions and order, oh, you spending this much on food, oh, you spending this much on entertainment, Oh, you spending this much on weed, nigga. Look at how much you spending on weed, nigga. Because I'm suffering. I'm not prioritizing government. I'm not prioritizing relationships. I'm not prioritizing shit. I'm prioritizing what feel good in the moment. I'm prioritizing escapism. And so a motherfucker will say, well, I don't do that. Well, I can't talk about you. I can only talk about me and my experience, and hopefully somebody who have been struggling with the same shit that I'm talking about, they can find a solution within this because I understand that people can actually be already 10 steps ahead of me. But the niggas that I know and the people that I talk to, we be sitting here scratching our heads trying to figure out what from what. So me, I'm just a sponge. Person say, "Oh, Kyrie, can you do this? Kyrie, can you do that? Oh yeah, sure, I can do it. Can I really do it? No. But will I learn in like 2.7 seconds? Yep. And then when I start looking at something, I start paying attention to something such as accounting, such as finances. I'm sitting there looking at it and I gotta figure it out. I'm saying I gotta understand it. And then I start to understand it and I start to figure it out. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You mean to tell me that the only way to escape the matrix is to pay attention to it? The fact that we hate the matrix and we don't pay attention to it and we run away from it and we don't deal with it is because what? We want to be in jail. We want to be in prison by it. So now it's like, all right, shit. The mere attention to it. You ever got some badass kids? Because I'm the only nigga on the internet with kids that's bad. Everybody's kids be angels and shit. These kids, right? You don't pay attention to them, they do all types of crazy shit. You start looking at them, they start, they just be trying to have conversation and shit, acting like little angels. And then you gotta just sit and look at them all day. Gotta pay attention to them all day, because the moment you take your eyes off of them, they doing some bullshit. That's what a goddamn parent is. Fuck all that dumb shit. You gotta be aware. Like, I'm a good parent. I work all day. Where they at? What they doing? Stupid shit. Stupid shit. And that's the thing. When you have a negative disposition, when your foundation is shifted, the simple shit is so hard. And then you sit back and reflect, like, why didn't I do this for all this time? Because it's like a wound that never get healed, the wound that never get fully adjusted. But it's like, man, when you talk about black people, we're able to talk about a before and after, right? The before, because niggas talk about slavery as if slavery is the reason for our deplorableness, and that can never be the truth. What you mean that can never be the truth? Because, bro, all you got to do is look at black people in 1940. What we understand about black people is that black people were the model of morality up until the civil rights movement, up until integration. And then from integration from 1977 was the introduction of crack or cocaine, which progressed into crack cocaine around 1984 in Oakland and LA. And they gave it to the gangs. And the gangs went to every major city and major town in America and infiltrated and indoctrinated millions of black youth to be crack dealers. Slavery did not do what they said it have done to us. It was crack that have done it. Cause look at these niggas, man. They was fresher out of slavery than us. You got to be able to make it make sense. Don't ever let a nigga tell you the reason why black people is the way they is because of slavery. None of us have been slaves. These people had grandmamas that just left the plantation, and look how beautiful they are. Look how well integrated, at peace, and well adapted to whatever situation they was faced with. They was the model of morality. So it was not slavery that have destroyed black people. That it is a sick thing. It's a real thing though. Because I'm telling you, they've been preparing for this helter skelter shit for so long. And we about to talk about it because we are talking about a moon in Libra. Libra rules government. Libra rules relationships as well. So let's just go ahead and deal with the relationships. And then after that, we're going to deal with some government. Then we're going to deal back with some relationships, then back with some government, then back with some ancient history matching with the present history.
Right? In bullet points. All right. So I had to think about this. I said, okay, let me really break this down, right? In bullet points. I got to get all this straight in my head. All right. So women want a man to be attractive, tall, make 6 or 7 figures, even though most women do not make that themselves. Right? Okay. While he's out here making all this money, all these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures, he better be home in time to give all his attention and take her on all the dates, or else she'll cheat. Women want a man to call, but not too much. Text back, but don't text back too fast, because then he's like weird and he's a lame. And if he's nice, he's a lame. If he's mean, he's unattainable. He's a challenge, and then women want him, even if they will not admit it. I hear women say all the time, like, I just want my man to be honest. But when he's honest, they blow up, freak out, label him mean, toxic, abusive, and of course, a narcissist. Most women do not really want honesty. They want comfort. You want a man to tell you what you want to hear, not what's going to help you grow. And speaking of growth, try pointing out just one thing that she needs to work on, and you will see exactly why most women cannot take accountability for shit. You want a man to be emotionally available, but if he shows any emotion, then he's soft. You want him to lead, but when he does, now he's aggressive and controlling and abusive. You want him to initiate sex and affection, but when he does, you turn it down. But when he stops trying, then you say he's cheating or he's gay. Women want undivided attention, but if he gives it to you, then he's sucking the life out of you. He won't give you space. You can't breathe. He's lame and he's annoying. Then you turn around and cheat with the guy that's going to treat you like a whore and who looks at you as such. Women don't even realize the guy who's just trying to hit. They just look at the guy who's trying to build as the red flag. I'm confused. I don't think I will ever understand any of this, and I am a woman. All right.
So this is what the Temptations call a state of confusion, a ball of confusion. Like when a person get online and they start spewing CIA talking points, saying the same thing that have been said, we got to actually put ourselves in the mind frame of 1970 something, right? And you probably like, Hood, what you talking about, 1970 something? Like, Teddy Pendergrass was talking about, if you don't know me by now. You know what I'm saying? Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We talking about a mentality that unified masculine and feminine. Now, when we trying to talk about relationships, the chicks is saying women is horrible. Y'all gotta be able to make it make sense. Because listen, I'm the type of person, dog. I done been through some shit that can leave me jaded and be talking negative about women and all of this type of shit. But come on, man. Like, it's just stupid. It's stupid to sit and just be talking about that shit, man. And we going into 2026. Remember when we was little kids and we was watching a Jetson and we was like, man, what is it going to be like in 2026? I bet you it's going to be flying cars. No, niggas is like, should have been like Kevin Samuels and talking points. Because what people is not going to be talking about online and they talking points is pheromones, emotional intelligence, being able to compromise, work together, and do all of the seventh house shit. So I'm gonna play a snippet of another video after this next video because I'm gonna get off the relationships for a second because seventh house is a very it's a lot of niggas and it's seventh house is one of them houses where it's like three families in it and shit. A seventh house is a house with Haitians or niggas that just immigrant. It's an immigrant house. It's a bunch of niggas that's living there trying to get their shit together so they can move out and get their own shit. They saving their money in the seventh house. You got your government there, everything government. We got race relations, got actual relationships, got friendships, got associates, spirit guides, um people that's in your soul tribe and you thinking like that white girl that's my supervisor a part of your soul tribe. Yep, because you see her every cycle. Was in the chat, it'd be a different white girl but it'd be the same white girl. Do y'all know what I'm talking about, or am I tripping right now? Y'all know that white girl I'm talking about that's real sweet? She might be the wife of the owner, but she take a liking to you and give you the keys to the kingdom and you like, you a real nice white girl. Her ass is in Libra. Your mama in Libra. God damn. Mother's Day. Like, come on, y'all. Too many niggas is in Libra. Right, but this is the real deal. I'm gonna get to, let me get to the real deal. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man.
They despise this name.
So what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about Cincinnati real quick. Because remember what I said, Atlantis is rising and the kingdom of heaven are the same thing, but they're happening in the individual. Now, Cincinnati is Atlantis. And a lot of people will say, I don't know what you're talking about because your ass ain't never been to Cincinnati. You ain't never seen it. You ain't never experienced it. Cincinnati got like 150 mounds in it. It's a Native American paradise. Cincinnati will take your breath away, especially when you get outside of Cincinnati and start driving along the countryside. It's right on the Ohio River, but it's also like little like lakes and tributaries and shit. The shit is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's in Ohio, so it's like a mild winter too. It's not even like extreme winters, but it do get cold there. But Cincinnati have a real Cincinnati niggas do not play when it come to these goddamn other people. And don't just take my word for it. We about to look at the history so y'all can understand. But y'all need to understand why these people are fighting, why their souls and their spirit is fighting. And a lot of people outside of Cincinnati don't know and don't give a fuck. But as you can see, the story between Rodney Hinton, because listen, none of this shit is by coincidence. None of this shit is by mistake. This shit is all a part of divine planning. Because what are we talking about? We talking about a man who is avenging the death of his son. What does that talk? What does that harken back to? Osar and Haru. Now, in the metal netter, when you look up Het Haru is ruled by the full moon in sidereal Libra. If you got the Metal Netter Volume 2, you can just look up the Het Haru section and you can read it right with your own black and white. The full moon is ruled by Het Haru. Now, Het Haru is actually Oshun. So now when you're dealing with Oshun, Oshun is a black woman in your life. Oshun is a divine feminine vessel. Every lifetime, every time there is human beings on the earth, there is an Oshun vessel. The issue with it, though, we don't protect them. We only trying to fuck them. We don't see Oshun. We don't recognize Oshun. We say, oh, that girl, she thinks she all of that. That girl, she thinks she goddamn, she thinks she the shit. She is. The fuck she is. Like, you ever seen a beautiful woman and you hating on her? Like, come on. Like, we be hating on beautiful black women, bro. A bitch be beautiful, we be talking shit about her. You heard she cheated on her nigga though? She was a cheater. Like, come on, bro. We don't even understand the psychology of goddessness. This bitch is not bound to rules and logic, nigga. She's a goddess. And the nigga be like, well, I don't know what a goddess is because all women are the same. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You ain't never seen a pure goddess. What make her pure? You get to talking to her, she be like, shit, I just got finished eating some ham hocks, some goddamn pig feet, some goddamn fried chicken. I'm about to drink some beer, some Hennessy. She gonna be rolling a goddamn Philly blunt. Like, what the fuck were you? How the fuck you find the Philly blunt at? Like, what's going on, sis? This is what I like to smoke. Like, girl. But she don't look it, she's looking like a pure virginal goddess. That's how you know. See, a lot of people think you gotta be that to exist in that way. But you fake now. You don't have no power. Your power is in not eating shit, depriving yourself of pleasure. That ain't power. You just a lame. You just bored. You bored. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be like, oh, you look so young. What kept you so youthful? I'll be like, weed. But like, no, you shouldn't say that. I'm just telling the truth, bitch. What you want me to say? This goddamn, it's a plant. It's a herb. So what we are looking at, because once again, when we talk about Cincinnati, when we talk about America, it's Egypt. It's Egypt too. It's just the pre-Egypt. Atlantis is pre-Egypt. Atlantis is America. This is not the new world, nigga. This is the old world. This is not the new world. This is the old world. And we talking about Cincinnati, nigga. You ain't never been there. Cincinnati is the same place as Rome. And you like, hood, that don't even make no damn sense. How is Cincinnati the same place as Rome? You niggas never did the knowledge. You got to do the knowledge sometimes. Cincinnati's nickname is the City of Seven Hills. It refers to the seven distinct hills that form the core of the city's topography. Nigga, them is not hills, them is mountains. First of all, let's just table that. Now do Seven Hills, Rome. The Seven Hills of Rome. So once you establish Cincinnati as Rome, you got to understand that the East and West hemispheres are mirrors. Is this shit too deep? Am I losing y'all? Is this shit sounding too crazy? Cause I'm looking at this shit with my own two eyes, and I'm like, damn, this you sounding a little crazy, Kyrie.
They despise this nigga, huh?
So this is Rodney Hinton on the elevator, right? You got to catch the elevator from the bottom to get to the top, right? He charged with capital murder of a police officer. They trying to give him the death penalty because the police shot his son. They invited him to the police office. They invited him to the police office. They showed him the tape. The tape showed that the boy didn't have the gun. They shot him anyway because the gun had dropped down, and they pointing to where the gun dropped down on the ground. So how you shoot the boy for having a gun, but you also say that the gun was how can you shoot him for having a gun, but you also say the gun dropped on the ground? So the dad seen that, he went insane, seen a cop on a divider directing traffic at a college and ran the cop over. And this story have caught national news because it's spiritual. But you also got to understand that the psychology of a Cincinnati Atlantean, because I'm not going to call them black, I'm not going to call them African, these are Aboriginal Atlanteans that will fight. They will fight, they will riot, they do not play. And it's not something that I'm saying, not something that I feel. It's something that is you just got to do the knowledge and do the history on Cincinnati and race relations.
They despise this nigga, huh? They sitting there just wanting to hurt this nigga. Whew. Imagine if them body cameras wasn't on, cuz you finna get a whole nother car crash, nigga. Elevator crash in this motherfucker. Ooh, look at them. They keep on moving their fingers and shit, okay? Ooh, they don't like this nigga, man.
I know that's about a lot of. I got this right here.
Yeah. 10 cup tea, I'm in a room.
So yeah, a very unfortunate situation. A dad have essentially lost his life. His son have lost his life. But we understand that these things happen as wake up calls, right? So you got to understand a thing, right? What is the thing that we need to understand? We need to understand that Cincinnati just had a flood of a river. Okay? One of the biggest floods that it ever had, okay? And I know you probably wondering like why do that matter? Because we are understanding that this is a mirror universe of ancient past and ancient history. You wouldn't say your right brain have a different makeup from your left brain, even though they have different functions and they operate at different times. They are mirrors of one another. So, what is the Ohio River? You might ask. You could make it comparable to the Nile. Many people have the Mississippi be comparable to the Nile, but the Ohio River, the Susquehanna River are just as or even more impressive than the Mississippi. And this river was one that just flooded earlier in this year once the weather started breaking around March, which would be a signal the same way as Egyptians looked at the flooding of the river as what? A signal, a symbol. But see, us, we don't give a fuck. We all in our phones, on our social media. A lot of people like, I didn't even know the river flooded. Didn't even care. All right, check. So fast forward, the Rodney Hitton situation comes. But whenever I see situations between black people and cops in Cincinnati, I just add this one to the books. Because in 1829, 1836, 1841, 1884, and 2001, Cincinnati have experienced race riots that was centered in racial tensions, police brutality, and economic disparities. The difference between Cincinnati is that you're not just about to just treat them niggas like anything. They will fight back. So what you do see is that you see a lot, and of course, they giving niggas black and milds and Newports like everywhere else. But at the same time, you are going to see a lot of beauty and a lot of strength and a lot of respectability that exists within Cincinnati. If you ever got a friend that was from Cincinnati or met a person from Cincinnati, you are witnessing a very sweet soul. I would say it's a privilege to have relationships with people in Cincinnati because they are different. They're not like niggas in Detroit and Baltimore and New York and all of that shit. They have a different soul and a different spirit because of where they are at, because of the energy that those mounds hold. There are mounds that are in the midst of Cincinnati, in the city, and in the surrounding area. When you talk about Ohio, you're talking about a place that at one time had a recorded 10,000 mounds in it. See, the things that I'm talking about and the things that I talk about is not the shit that's not going to be reported because niggas was not with me in that fucking truck when I was doing the knowledge with my own two eyes. My relationship with Cincinnati is a personal relationship. If you don't got a reason to go to Cincinnati, you might not ever go. You know, me personally, I went to Cincinnati. I did a whole mound tour from Marietta, Ohio, and circled around the whole Ohio River and made it to the Mississippi just to do rituals. So, of course, a motherfucker is not going to have the same knowledge as me because we opened up different portals. But the portals that I've opened up, the things that I know, I'm only going to talk about the things that I know. And when it aligns, I'm going to make that connection. You can use this particular signal or symbol to represent the return of Osar, which is creating a new mythology. Because Haru have been repping for his dad for thousands of years. And now the new mythology is Haru gets killed by Set. And now Asar has to offend his son. And once I start bringing up Het Haru, it's called the House of Horus. Hathor is the House of Horus, which rules this energy. I know for people that don't understand, they won't understand. But for those that have an ear to hear, for those who are interested in the kingdom, this is the signal and this is the time. Because when you're talking about Cincinnati, you're talking about the Society of Cincinnati, the institution of the Illuminati, and the institution of oppression and negative race relations. The concept of white, the concept of black is rooted in this particular society that runs this country, that have created a facade of how this shit actually works. You don't get voted into the Society of Cincinnati. The Society of Cincinnati is fraternal and hereditary. Means you gotta be a man and you gotta be related to somebody who was the founding fathers of this country. You gotta be a part of that bloodline. That's the get down, nigga. These niggas is kings in this bitch. These niggas is tyrants in this bitch. It ain't no Democrat and Republic. You ain't voting for shit. They gave you that fucking system, man, to run this shit. They telling you from Africa. They telling you was a slave. They telling you all of this shit. Because the moment you're not even listening to nothing they got to say, you can only listen to your soul, you is going to be activated. You can see it with your own two eyes, whatever God want to show you. You don't need nothing else but to have your experience. When you get caught up in these particular politics, you is a motherfucking fool. You a dumbass. Because how the fuck we going to be able to vote for the niggas that's in the Society of Cincinnati? And the spirit of the ancestors been fighting against these niggas every single day. You don't even know. You don't even care because you ain't there. You don't care about the Society of Cincinnati because they operate like puppet masters, my G. So what we have to begin to do is really start to just, like I always say, set your intentions, work with your energy, because this whole shit is a farce. Like at a certain point, you better have you a goddamn coven or a secret society and do magic with motherfuckers, man. And if it's too crazy for you, and that's what motherfuckers is doing to you. They doing magic on your ass. The society has 13 constituent societies in the United States and one in France. It was founded to perpetuate the remembrance of this vast event, the achievement of American independence, to preserve and inviolate those exalted rights and liberties of human nature, to render permanent the cordial affection of subsisting among the officers of the Continental Army who served in the Revolutionary War. So these is the niggas who killed niggas for this shit. This is where the blood is at. These are the ones who run it. and it's not ram. You think you going? You ever motherfucker be like, what you want to be when you grow up? Don't ever tell your kid they can be a motherfucking president. Say, little Billy, get that shit out your goddamn mind. Don't even think about it. This shit is rigged. So it's a movie by Oprah Winfrey. It's called Beloved. Beloved is based on this lady named Margaret Gardner or Peggy Gardner. Now, Margaret Gardner, called Peggy, was an enslaved African American who killed her own daughter and intended to kill her other three children and herself rather than be forced back into slavery. I went to Cincinnati and gave offerings to her and, built a relationship with her. And a lot of the things she told me was the same things that I'm telling you all right now. The spirit within the individual will always fight back against oppression. That's why when I say set your intentions, set those motherfuckers and see who stand in your way and move them out your way. Continuously move people out of your way. Give no fucks. Because you should have been in this game long enough that when people take you out of your spot, they just going to be looking at you, laughing at you, because that's what they wanted to do in the first place. So when you are setting your intentions, the goal is to not get that intention. And if somebody's setting in your way, that's when you got to realize that Martian aspect to your energy. That's when you got to begin to fight back. Garner and her family escaped enslavement in January of 1856 by traveling across the frozen Ohio River to Cincinnati. And these slaves that was trying to make it to Ohio from Kentucky, it was hit or miss. They had to cross over a frozen river, and they didn't necessarily have no technology to know whether or not it was going to be frozen or not. Think about the first of all, think about Cincinnati. What would make a black man just want to go to Cincinnati so bad? Because a lot of times you would have to really go to Cincinnati and see them black ass, black ass niggas out there, right? And say they pull all of these niggas from Africa. No, okay? These are Aboriginal, indigenous people that have always been there. That's why black people wanted to get to Cincinnati because they ass can blend the fuck in. Okay? And what Cincinnati have always had to deal with was invader into their particular territory that they always had to fight against. Up until this day, up until now, when you went to that courtroom, all of the sheriffs, all of the cops took up all the seats so no family members could see. That's how they play. But when you look at Cincinnati, when you look at the police, when you look at the military, oh yeah, they locked in. They one and the same. So Margaret Gardner escapes to Cincinnati, gets a home, and then the U.S. Marshals, acting under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, went and captured her, put her back into slavery, right? Put her back into slavery where she inevitably transitioned. If you ever seen the movie Beloved or read the book Beloved, that's who the story is about. So the way that Margaret Gardner talked to Toni Morrison, she talked to me too. So if you are a resident of Ohio, you're a resident of Cincinnati, you can go to her landmark. She have a landmark on the border of Cincinnati and Kentucky. You can give offerings there, and she'll talk with you. And all of this connects to full moon and Libra because Libra is ruled by Het Haru or Hathor and Anubis. Anubis deals with death. Het Haru deals with birth. She is the mother. But you got to understand death is the gateway to life. They'll be back again, or else they'll stay in this liminal space and exist on Earth. They decide how they want to play it. Margaret Gardner is one of those people who stood in the middle so she could get her story told. She reigns as a spirit. She haven't crossed all the way over to be reincarnated because would you want to be reincarnated if you had to live a life where you was a slave, you died a slave, you had to kill your daughter so she wouldn't even become a slave? So the energy in Cincinnati is what like I said, it's a full house up in that motherfucker. It goddamn got Stephanie up in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? John Stamos, the whole crew up in there. Another aspect of Rome is the field of Mars, Campus Martius, is in Rome, but it's also a Campus Martius in Detroit, downtown Detroit. Campus Martius Park. It's the center point. It is the field of Mars, right? Because it's a mirror universe. One is the same, and two is the same, and three is the same. All right, so let's get into our next.
They despise.
If you're a man in your 30s and you're single,
So this one, I'm not going to play long because she was yapping. I just want to get to. I'm gonna play like the first a minute or so. And my question is this: what do people offer nowadays in form of relationships?
single and you live in New York or San Francisco, if you're a man in your 30s and you're single and you live in New York or San Francisco, please stay. Everyone else can swipe up. Great, now that I have the attention of the people that I need, I have a question for you. So, we are in our 30s. See, there's a group of us. We're all single. I would say all my friends are pretty much like 9 out of 10. Great in all sorts of ways. Hot, stunning, beautiful, great personality, and great jobs. But single as a Pringle.
And this is a disease. Like, at what point does a motherfucker sit back and think about what they gonna offer to their potential lover, a potential husband or potential wife? You should obsess with that because the facts of love is selfless. Love is thankless. Love is something that you choose to do. It's not something that you can promise a return on. That's just how it goes. If you a lover, you love. You don't wait to be loved. And if you got a good job and you sharing, that's one thing. But if you got a good job and you just thinking about yourself because you got a good job, it's really putting you into a negative space. And I say all of this with love. Like, why are you trying to figure out why you're not in a relationship and you self-absorbed and you haven't created the mindset and the approach to what you are bringing to the table, what you are offering to your potential lover? It's only 30 seconds. I'm gonna play it 30 seconds again, and I'm just saying I'm not talking about her particularly. I'm talking about what she stands for and the fact of you being this great person, and that is the ticket for you to having a successful relationship. But you not even understanding it's girls that's threes and fours that's working at McDonald's, but got a game plan to please a nigga that's moving in, becoming wifey.
If you're a man in your 30s and you're single and you live in New York or San Francisco, please stay. Everyone else can swipe up. Great, now that I have the attention of the people that I need, I have a question for you. So, we are in our 30s. See, there's a group of us. We're all single. I would say all my friends are pretty much like 9 out of 10. Great in all sorts of ways. Hot, stunning, beautiful, great personality, and great jobs. But single as a Pringle. And a lot of us think that the men in New York are just exponentially better. But then on TikTok, it's like New York men are equally as bad as SF men. But here's the problem with men. They feel really one note. Everyone.
Can't do it, bro. Can't even do it.
I love the blacks being like, "Oh, we're
So this is a 4 minute video, but I'm not going to play all 4 minutes.
gonna get a race war."
I'm not going to play all 4 minutes, but this is there was something in this video that I wanted to talk about, and once it gets to it, I'll talk about it.
I love the blacks being like, "Oh, we're gonna get a race war." If there was a race war, you wouldn't win. Okay. First of all, you might have plenty of guns, but you don't know how to shoot them. You think this is how you shoot guns. You think this is how you shoot a pistol. That's not. I know you saw that in a movie and you thought it looked cool. And you saw your favorite fucking rapper doing that, but that's not how you aim and shoot a gun. The only reason blacks have not exterminated themselves in the hood, because black on black violence is insane and through the roof, is because they're such horrible shots. So you really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time, and doesn't miss? Really, nigga? I shot a water.
Did I hear just what? Did I hear what I thought I just heard?
Really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time, and doesn't miss? Really, nigga? I shot a.
In 2025, bro, this is what we doing. This is what we talking about. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm somewhat lost for words because it's just like we. I just don't. And I understand it to a certain degree, right? Because it's niggas that I don't like either, right? It's niggas that I don't like either. But still, but still, it's just I'm just like at a place where it's like, all right, man, we got to a place where we online and we just saying anything and we just putting shit out there, but it's like I feel like now motherfuckers take what they be seeing online and they be taking it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is out of pocket, bro. Like, but niggas will flag my channel for saying some shit about COVID. You know what I'm saying? But this bitch out here, like it's just like crazy. And then you got people like Kanye West. And Kanye West made a song for white people to vibe to, bro. Like I'm looking on Twitter, like it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm like, man, niggas don't know Trump. If you don't know Trump, open racist. How can he not be an open racist? And then you got Elon Musk, open racist. And it ain't like Kamala's no better, but it's like, damn, these niggas is really about that life. And it's like niggas, it's like if these people hate you, right? If these people hate you, what is our defense as black people? Anybody can comment on this video, comment in the chat. What is black people defenses to living in a country where these people hate your black ass for living, nigga, for breathing? They hate it. And what do we do about it? Like, how do we defend ourselves as a unit?
A water snake today. It was these fucking water snakes, dude, have been getting our eggs from the ducks, and I've had enough with it. I battled this snake the other day because I went to open and let the ducks out, and the snake was like hanging out right under the rafters of the duck house, and I was like, oh my god, scared the shit out. I fucking hate snakes with a passion. But I went there and I'm like battling him. So I got the hoe and I'm like trying to get him out there because he's like stuck and he's hanging on, and I'm like fucking battling with this thing. And I finally get him and throw him, and now he's back. He's fucking back. Not anymore, baby. He's gone. He gone. He gone. But anyway, my point being, white people have been shooting for sport for a long time. So let's not bring that up, okay? It's not going to end the way you think it is, all right? And by the way, that's another psyop of this thing. For all the people, the James Lindsays, the typical people you would think, they're all calling this Shiloh thing a psyop. Oh yeah, it's just a psyop to trick us into a race war, because you know what the Jews really want? They want the blacks and the whites working together. No. Okay, that's actually never going to happen. The blacks and the whites will never put aside their differences and fight the Jews.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Like, what nigga broke your heart? I'm looking at it. I'm examining it. Cause my thing is, I'm from Ohio, and it's a lot of white people in Ohio. And if I know one thing about white people, like regular white people, I'm not talking about higher ups, just regular white people, they don't be really giving a fuck about shit besides what they going through. When people get online and start directing verbiage towards white people, start throwing in words like psyop, this is what's called projection. Now, a lot of times you hear that word being said, but let's look up the definition of projection or shadow projection. Shadow projection in psychology refers to the unconscious process of attributing one's own undesirable and acceptable traits and feelings and impulses onto others. It's essentially seeing those aspects of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge in another person. This can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and a distorted view of reality. So, once again, Miss White Lady,
That's never going to happen. First of all, the blacks are convinced they're the Jews. Have you checked in on a black Hebrew Israelite lately? They're some of the most retarded people on the planet, okay? The hubris of these people, black Hebrew Israelite, it's a really like peak worst types of blacks.
now, if Solomon said, I am white, but beautiful, we could have a conversation. But King Solomon says, I am black but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar and the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard I have not kept. So we supposed to read the Bible and it's more shit. In Revelation chapter 1, verse 15, his feet were like bronze. So if his feet was like bronze, what color is bronze? Bronze is a copper-based alloy. Look colored to me. Got some color, got some cousins this color. So my thing is this. Now, what's crazy? Now, you know who retarded? This is some retarded shit right here. Tell me how this makes sense. Ashkenazi are a major branch of people whose ancestors who primarily lived in Central Eastern Europe, including Germany, Poland, and Russia. Ancient Jewish people, known as Israelites, primarily lived in the Levant region, including modern day Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. Nigga, none of them places is Central or Eastern Europe, including Germany, Poland, and Russia. So how the fuck are y'all the chosen people? That to me is retarded. For y'all to even think that y'all even that what y'all calling yourself. Y'all slow for real. Cause none of the shit that happened in the Bible took place where y'all come from. Y'all stole the culture and said it was yours. Come on, man.
Because they think they're amazing, you know? But no, so these people are like, oh man,
You think they're amazing.
you're just saying that because you're just trying to cause racial division. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So now I get labeled as somebody's trying to start a race war anytime I mention black crime. That's the new go-to. That's the new go-to. Okay, I get it. So it's woke right that didn't stick, and now it's oh you're trying to start a race war. No, I'm actually just talking about black crime. Okay, I don't want a race war. All right, I know we would win, but I don't want that. Actually, I would never try to incite something like that. It's not going to happen. When we come to power, there will be no need for a race war. We can just round them up and deport them all. And that's what will happen. But anyway, and you know, I was thinking about this too. Jews are so fucking arrogant, that will be their downfall. You know? Just like what I think we talked about this with Ken the other day. It will really truly be their downfall because they can't help themselves. This is why they tell on themselves. This is why they self-report all the time. They write it down in books. They write it in articles about what they're doing, what their little fucking plans are, because they have to brag about it. Because they're not good at anything. The only thing they're good at is subverting, committing assassinations, blackmail operations. They're really good at that. Nepotism, being fucking creeps. That's what they are good at.
The plus size woman, I'm a plus size man.
So I'm gonna get into one more point before I go on to my next segment. But don't talk to me about black crime. Now, a lot of times people talk about sundown towns in a sense where it's like you don't want to get caught there overnight or something bad is happening to you, which is not really what a sundown town is. A sundown town is a city or a town that's all white. If you are a white person and you live in a city or a town that's 99 or 100% white, that is racist because black people would like to live there too. But when you go to main cities in certain pockets in the fucking state in the country and black people live there, but they don't live nowhere else, then you talk about crime because niggas can't live. There is no reason that there should be all white towns. The only reason people migrate, people move, people. I've lived many different places. It's natural for human beings to move to certain places, but you also know it's certain places that when they see your skin, you are not going to get granted access to do business, to live there, because we live in a racist country because of that. It's just that fact alone. You don't got to get deep into it. There is never, there should never be a such thing as 100% white town. And this is not my words. It's from the book called Sundown Towns, The Hidden Dimension of American Racism. Kyrie Anthony not making this shit up. This is real shit. Beginning in the roughly 1890 with the end of the Reconstruction, continuing into the fair housing legislation of the 1960s, whites in America created thousands of whites only towns. Thousands. So get that shit out your mind. Niggas think that racism don't exist and it's nowhere for us to live. The shit is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So once again, we were talking about just finishing up because now we're gonna get into the conversation in reference to the goddess Het Haru, the mother goddess. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Het Haru, the Oshun of ancient Egypt, right? So Het Haru is one of, if not one of the oldest goddesses in the Egyptian pantheon. Her worship may date as far as back as the Neolithic age when she was worshipped as the celestial cow. Okay, celestial. I went to public school. I don't know exactly what that word means, but let's try to figure it out. Celestial means position in or related to the sky, space, or observed in astronomy, belonging or relating to heaven, supremely good. So one would say celestial is related to stars. So we do have grounded in the stars statue, which is just a Het Haru statue in honor of Sidereal Libra. You know, the elite practice sidereal astrology because you got to understand astrology and astronomy. Before there was astrological charts, there was only astronomy. there wasn't a chart that would fuck it up and confuse millions of people. So anybody with common sense is going to use sidereal astrology. With all of that being said, knowing that this full moon is going to be in Libra, it's time to honor Het Haru. How does the ones that know honor Het Haru? Grounded in the stars celestial, celestial stars. This is Het Haru, this is Hathor. What they did when they honored Hathor in ancient Egypt is they built statues for her. What they do in modern, postmodern America, when they want to honor Hathor, which is the black woman, let's be clear, the black regular woman with not a bodacious body, with a curvy figure. I hate how motherfuckers hate on this statue. The more I'm looking at it, this statue can get it. One's in the chat. Hear me out. One's in the chat. I might. Hey, I wouldn't turn her down. Y'all niggas would not turn her down, bro. Come on now. She actually beautiful. If you hating on this statue, I'm gonna call you lame for that. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, you kind of my type for real. You kind of look like my baby mom for real. Who am I gonna lie to? Why should I just start lying? Nigga, Black Hood, doesn't that look like your baby mom? Kinda. So what is this statue about? Because Atlantis is rising, because the kingdom in heaven, these are all coinciding, corresponding things. When you begin to understand the celestial, you begin to understand yourself. See, Goddess is not going to be a bitch with makeup, with quick weave in. When I see a woman like this with that aura, she might have on some chamomile lotion or some shit. I'd be like, peace, Goddess. So niggas hating on this statue. They hate their auntie. They hate their mama. They hate their cousins. They hate their little nieces. How can you have a problem with this? The more I look at it, the more I'm trying to figure out, oh, it's something wrong with us for real. We fucked up in the head. What? No, this statue is fucked up. They trying to disrespect black women. How? Y'all got to show me how they trying to disrespect black women with this statue. The more I look at it, y'all, the more I'm like, oh yeah, she can get it. She seemed like she got a nice personality too. It seemed like she down to earth for real. Maybe I'm going too far with it, but I'm just saying that's just my initial impressions of the modern day Het Haru. Niggas is not turning her down, bro. I promise you. Ain't a nigga alive that could take my mama's place. You are appreciated.
A plus size woman, I'm a plus size man, I'm African American, it's the African American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop and just have a moment with was very powerful.
Me being a plus size black woman, I kind of looking at it was just like, oh, I wonder what me as a small child would have thought looking at something like that. Representation.
The piece is part of a series called Grounded in the Stars, which Gene Cooney, director of Times Square Arts, says confronts preconceived notions of identity and representation.
Ain't y'all tired of white boy statues? Hey, if it was a white boy statue, niggas wouldn't have said shit. Niggas wouldn't have said shit. Niggas would have went, oh, they just built another white boy statue in Times Square. Let's go check it out. Wow. They did the marble stone granite approach. Do you know the sculptor on here? He's amazing. His work is epic. Art is subjective, but sometimes you gotta sit with shit for it to. Now, if they had ill intentions with this, they probably did. But like, it's some shitty shit that you end up liking for real. You be like, I know you ain't try your best. Like I'm a connoisseur of music, and a lot of music that I like is if it have like a gritty, imperfect touch to it. Like a nigga played the part off key right here. Like I like an imperfection in my art personally. I'm a grungy type of person. But like I said, art is subjective, but we should be black women should be represented in art during full moon transits because some of us gonna have women that shape like this. We all ain't gonna have women with a BBL. Now, what would we have said if they built a statue of Cardi B or somebody like a Nicki Minaj statue or something like that? Would we have not have said shit? Would we have been cool with it? I like art, man, because it make you think. It make you think. And this is a piece that really make you think and it goes straight to your heart. You be like, damn, man, she look just like my baby moms, bro. That's crazy. Like I know that this is a statue that if you in New York, you able to go to Times Square, pour libations, give ashes, because that is Heru right there. That's Hathor. That's the house of Heru. When you die and you want to be rebirthed, this is who you going to talk to. She might look like this. Heru might look like this. Oshun might look like this. Right? The divine feminine does not have an aesthetic. That's if you a spiritual person and you caught up on aesthetics, listen, you not that spiritual as you think you is. From the heart. One of the first things about spiritual people, your baby daddy probably looked like Shrek. And your baby mama probably looked like his wife. But you seen her heart, you seen his soul. You loved him in spite of that. Because you were spiritual. You good. All right, I'm going to segue it because because I like talking about Haru, man. This energy brings me so much peace. And the energy is real, it's visceral. Like you will see people that embody this energy. The celestial cow who gives birth to all that is. That's a powerful disposition to have within an individual. She is the universe in the Milky Way, is the nourishing milk that flows from her udders or her breast. So, boom. And now we just talking about the algorithm, right? Because one of the big things that's going on in the algorithm is this young lady on Mother's Day, right? Doing something very natural. But in this postmodern society, we are completely out of touch. I ain't gonna play it, but y'all can see she breastfeeding her baby, and people was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." But once again, you can look at the news like it's just a regular news story. I'm going to look at it like, oh, that Hathor energy is really coming on. So working with the divine feminine for this full moon, giving thanks to the divine feminine, because at this point, man, your life is your life. Whatever you want to believe, whatever you want to have faith in it. And for a lot of people, if you don't do the inner work, you got faith in your anxiety. The Egyptians believed the Milky Way was the celestial reflection of their own Nile River, and so Het-Heru became associated with the Nile River as well. Remember, I told y'all what river overflowed earlier this year in March? The Ohio River. And it's not so far fetched to say it's connected. Why? Because the Egyptians believed that the Nile River was a mirror to the Milky Way, and that Het-Heru became associated with the river as well. But we also understand that Het-Heru just means the house of Horus. Cincinnati is also connected to Rodney Hinton, where his son died. And he avenged his son like a sword would avenge Heru. It's all connecting. You just got to be able to see it. Once you're able to see it, you know. One of the keys is studying sidereal astrology. If you don't study sidereal astrology, you thinking the shit is in Scorpio somewhere. You all off. You just niggas is just yapping for real. They ain't making no connections to what's really going on. But why are we going to study astrology and not connect it to what's really going on? In my last astrology videos, I just been connecting shit. So join the Substack, right? Because that's where it's going to be documented at. This primordial goddess' earliest depictions may well have been the famous winged Nile River. Keep backing up. The all-encompassing mother. So once again, this is that mother energy. It's not talking about your mom. Ain't talking about none of that. It's talking about the archetypical divine feminine entity and energy that can be unlocked within you, but also is unlocking it within your partner. Either you as a woman becoming Oshun, or you as a man attracting Oshun and being with Oshun. Cause fuck the dumb shit. Why you want to have a regular relationship and that shit not spiritual? That shit ain't nurturing. That shit don't make you feel good. You working all hard. She don't appreciate you. She all bitter. Like, no, it's a complete and utter change when you get into this spiritual shit. You either going to transform yourself hormonally, or you going to attract somebody that's on your same wavelength. You enter into relationships, that's all well and good. But when people start treating you wrong, people start taking advantage of your energy, then the relationship construct is that a motherfucker get replaced. Ain't nobody in this shit forever, especially if you want to be a crab. So with all that being said, like understand this particular energy, this full moon energy to like really understand your place in the world and what do you want out of life? What means the most to you? Because it ain't no set rules. Okay. And so, man, I just be observing. I've been busy. So I say a lot of this shit I've been sitting back. I've been busy doing a lot of stuff, so I couldn't document it like I wanted to. But at the same time, I've been observing shit and I just wanted to share. You know, it's late. I still gotta wake up early tomorrow and get to it again. But I want to just thank everybody who have been rocking with me, so far, it's all love this way, White Rabbit site. Hit up the site. Got those free capsules. This weekend, we'll be dropping a clear, so you'll be able to get your free and clear bundle. And that's for people who suffer from ADHD, OCD, PTSD, severe mental health issues, medicine's not working, you constantly suffering mentally, you have anxiety, constantly stressing, don't know your left from right. Man, I got you. Got the free and clear capsule bundle dropping this weekend. But with all that being said, make sure you hit up the Substack, become a member. And if you took anything from this, man, hit the collection plate at Hood Mystic 38. Appreciate the love, appreciate the donations, appreciate the support. This has been another full moon and Libra report. And catch me on the flip side with another video, man. Peace to the tribe.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the morning. Calling now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.
What's up? What's wrong?
Just chilling, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. What's on your mind?
Why you think something on my mind?
I don't know, it just seems like you got a lot on your mind right now.
I don't know why you think that. I feel like I'm looking regular. Like, you feel like I can't concentrate or I can't focus, and every time I make plans, I do the opposite of my plans. Like, you can see that on me or something?
Kind of, but it's okay because I just got these super stack capsules from White Rabbit, and they really been helping me. Here, you should try them.
So just take them right now?
Yeah, just take them. How you feel now?
Do I look different?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel better. I feel clear. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta see what my mama and them doing. I got a job to get to. Thank you, random person that I just met. I appreciate these super stack capsules. Where can I get these from?
WhiteRabbitPsych.com.
I'm about to get some more right now. Thank you, bro. I actually feel great, bro.
Yeah.